Raghuram Rajan.
Raghuram Govinda Rajan is the current and the 23rd Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, having taken charge of India's central banking institution on September 4, 2013, and succeeding Duvvuri Subbarao. Rajan was Chief Economic Advisor to India's Ministry of Finance during the previous year and Chief Economist at the International Monetary Fund from 2003 to 2007. He is on leave of absence as a professor of finance at the Graduate Business School at the University of Chicago.
Early life.
Raghuram G. Rajan was born in 1963 in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh in a Tamil family, and his father was a senior bureaucrat in Indian government. He did his schooling from 7th to 12th standard in Delhi Public School, R.K. Puram, and graduated from the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering in 1985, after which he acquired a postgraduate diploma in business administration from the Indian Institute of Management Ahmedabad in 1987. He received a PhD in management from the MIT in 1991 for his thesis titled Essays on Banking.
Career.
After graduation, Rajan joined the Booth School of Business at the University of Chicago. He was the chief economist at the International Monetary Fund, IMF, from October 2003 to December 2006. In November 2008, Indian Prime Minister Drive Manmohan Singh appointed Rajan as an honorary economic advisor. That same year, a high-level committee on financial reforms, headed by Rajan, submitted its final report to the Planning Commission. Replacing Kaushik Basu, Rajan was appointed as Chief Economic Advisor to the Government of India on August 10, 2012. He also prepared the Economic Survey for India for the year 2012-13, on February 27. On August 6, 2013, it was announced that Rajan would take over as the next RBI governor. He was appointed RBI governor for a term of 3 years, succeeding D. Subbarao, whose term ended on September 4, 2013.
Economic and political views.
In 2005, at a celebration honoring Alan Greenspan, who was about to retire as chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Rajan delivered a controversial paper that was critical of the financial sector. In that paper, "Has financial development made the world riskier?" Rajan argued that disaster might loom. Rajan argued that financial sector managers were encouraged to take risks that generate severe adverse consequences with small probability but, in return, offer generous compensation the rest of the time. These risks are known as tail risks. But perhaps the most important concern is whether banks will be able to provide liquidity to financial markets so that if the tail risk does materialize, financial positions can be unwound and losses allocated so that the consequences to the real economy are minimized. The response to Rajan's paper at the time was negative. For example, former U.S. Treasury Secretary and former Harvard President Lawrence Summers called the warnings misguided, and Rajan himself a Luddite. However, following the 2008 economic crisis, Rajan's views came to be seen as prescient. By January 2009, The Wall Street Journal proclaimed that now, few are dismissing his ideas. In fact, Rajan was extensively interviewed on the global crisis for the Academy Award-winning documentary film Inside Job. Rajan wrote in May 2012 that the causes of the ongoing economic crisis in the US and Europe in the 2008 to 2012 period were substantially due to workforce competitiveness issues in the globalization era, which politicians attempted to paper over with easy credit. He proposed supply-side solutions of a long-term structural or national competitiveness nature. The industrial countries should treat the crisis as a wake-up call and move to fix all that has been papered over in the last few decades. Rather than attempting to return to their artificially inflated GDP numbers from before the crisis, governments need to address the underlying flaws in their economies. In the United States, that means educating or retraining the workers who are falling behind, encouraging entrepreneurship and innovation, and harnessing the power of the financial sector to do good while preventing it from going off track. In Southern Europe, by contrast, it means removing the regulations that protect firms and workers from competition and shrinking the government's presence in a number of areas, in the process eliminating unnecessary, unproductive jobs. During May 2012, Rajan and Paul Krugman expressed alternate views on how to reinvigorate the economies in the US and Europe, with Krugman mentioning Rajan by name in an opinion editorial. In an article in Foreign Affairs magazine, Rajan had advocated structural or supply-side reforms to improve competitiveness of the workforce to better adapt to globalization, while also supporting fiscal austerity measures, for example, raising taxes and cutting spending. Rajan conceded that austerity could slow economies in the short run and cause significant pain for certain constituencies. Krugman rejected this view, advocating instead traditional Keynesian fiscal stimulus, for example, spending and investment, and monetary stimulus, arguing the primary factor slowing the developed economies was a general shortfall in demand across all sectors of the economy, not structural or supply-side factors that affected particular sectors. This debate occurred against the backdrop of a significant austerity versus stimulus debate occurring at the time, with some economists arguing one side or the other or a combination of both strategies.
Awards.
In 2003, he won the Fisher Black Prize awarded by the American Finance Association for contributions to the theory and practice of finance by an economist under age 40. He was awarded the 5th Deutsche Bank Prize for Financial Economics 2013 on September 26, 2013 for his groundbreaking research work which influenced financial and macroeconomic policies around the world. Few awards received by him in his illustrious career as an academician and a researcher in financial economics are as follows.
Personal life.
Raghuram is married to Radhika Pai, a classmate from IIM Ahmedabad. They have a son and a daughter.
Publications.
Saving Capitalism from the Capitalists was co-authored with fellow Chicago Booth professor Luigi Zingales and published in 2004. Fault Lines, How Hidden Fractures Still Threaten the World Economy, published in 2010, has won the Financial Times and Goldman Sachs Business Book of the Year award for 2010. He has also published numerous articles in top-tier finance and economics journals including the American Economic Review, Journal of Economic Perspectives, Journal of Political Economy, Journal of Financial Economics, Journal of Finance and Oxford Review of Economic Policy, The True Lessons of the Recession. The West Can't Borrow and Spend Its Way to Recovery by Rajan in May-June 2012 Foreign Affairs. Several of Dr. Rajan's opinion editorials are available at Rajan Project Syndicate Opinion Editorial.